The Maltese archipelago, situated in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, consists of 3 inhabited islands, Malta, Gozo and Camino, together with a few other smaller islands. The earliest inhabitants of these magnificent islands were the Neolithic people around 5000 BC, a couple of millennia before the Egyptian civilization. Some of the temples they built are still in excellent condition today. Because of their strategic position, enhanced by the several sheltered natural harbours, the Maltese Islands have always been at the crossroads of the trading and warring routes of the Mediterranean Sea. Several powerful nations were attracted towards these shores. First the Phoenicians, and later the Carthaginians, Romans, the Knights of St. John, the French, and nearly 200 years of British rule have left their imprint for you to discover. Since 2004, Malta is now a full member of the EU, and in 2008 joined the Eurozone. The population of the Maltese Islands is currently around 400,000. With over 350 churches, the Maltese confirm their Roman Catholic faith. Testament of this is seen on every weekend during the summer months, when you can visit a local festa in honour of the patron village saint. Whilst understandably the local language is Maltese, the majority of the population also speaks English and Italian. Internet facilities are available in most parts of the islands, and the electricity is 240 volts, 50 Hz, and the wall sockets and plugs are identical to those in the UK. The Maltese climate is typically Mediterranean, with mild, wet winters and hot, dry summers. The wet season lasts from October to March, with 85% of the rain falling in this period. April to September constitutes the dry season. The air temperature averages 14 degrees Celsius in winter and 32 degrees Celsius during the summer. The water temperature averages 14 degrees in winter and 26 degrees in summer. The sea is at its coldest during February-March and warms up dramatically during the following months. Most of the diving takes place from April to November. Malta, the largest of the islands, is about 27 kilometers in length and 14 kilometers wide. Chiefly composed of limestone, its coastline is indented with numerous natural inlets, bays, creeks, sandy beaches and rocky coves. Valletta is the capital city and overlooks an ancient and spectacular natural harbour. Malta boasts a good, reliable airport, which links these islands to the rest of the world. Indeed, the Maltese Islands are well connected by most airlines and easily reached within 1 to 3 hours from all major airports in Europe. Camino is the smallest inhabited island in the Maltese archipelago. Only a handful of farmers live there, and neither cars nor other noisy activities disturb the peaceful tranquility of this little paradise. Camino is officially deemed an extension of Gozo and falls under the Gozo ministry. It boasts the sandy beach of Santa Maria and a rocky but well-sheltered Blue Lagoon, a very popular bathing spot, especially in the tourist seasons. Gozo, the island of the nymph Calypso, is smaller than Malta and has a distinctly different character. The countryside is greener and more spectacular, with flat-topped hills characterizing the landscape, while the coast has rugged cliffs penetrated by steep valleys and beautiful bays. These picturesque features, together with fields on the terraced hillsides bounded by rubble walls or prickly pear trees, give it a charm all of its own. Gozo is 14 kilometers long and 7 kilometers at its widest point, with a population of about 28,000. Access is by a 25-minute ferry trip from Malta, which is in frequent operation day and night. Victoria, or Rabat as the locals call it, is the main town and is situated right at the centre of the island. At its heart, on an elevated plateau, the castle-like bastions of the citadel dominate the surroundings. Sometimes referred to as a gem in the centre of the Mediterranean, Gozo has a very ancient history and a tradition of hospitality. Visitors appreciate Gozo's chief characteristics, including its peaceful atmosphere and its cleanliness. From decades of years as a fishing village, Marselthorn in the north of the island is characterized by its harbourside cafes and restaurants. This does not mean that Marselthorn has lost its traditional atmosphere. The small harbour is the main port for a fleet of traditional Lutsiet and smaller fishing boats. So much so that you can still observe the continuous activity of fishermen returning to and leaving from Marselthorn Bay in their sturdy, colourful boats. Whilst we suggest to rent a car in order to explore Gozo better, you will find that there is also a frequent bus service which runs throughout the year, linking Marselthorn to Victoria and the other villages. Just a 5-minute stroll to the west of Marselthorn, hundreds of salt pans hewn into the rocks dominate the picturesque landscape. Up to this very day, you can still see locals making salt as their ancestors did centuries ago. It's right here where you can dive some of the top dive sites, such as Rhea Point, Double Arch Reef and Calypso Tunnel. Atlantis Diving Centre is situated by Marselthorn Bay. Our services include tri-dives and courses from beginner to instructor. At our dive base, you will have free Wi-Fi access, and we will provide you with areas for washing and storing your equipment. Equipment hire is also available should you decide not to carry bulky diving equipment. Air, nitrox and trimix filling up to 300 bars are delivered from our newly installed compressors. In addition to our diving services, Atlantis Diving Centre also offers complete tailor-made packages for you, including airport transfers and a wide choice of accommodation, such as self-catering apartments, guest houses, hotels, luxury rustic houses and villas with pools. The climax of your stay in Gozo is without doubt the diving experience. Diving around Gozo is blessed with the most incredible 40-metre plus visibility and unique natural underwater topography, such as the countless caverns, tunnels, chimneys, arches and dramatic vertical drop-offs that may plunge more than 50 metres beneath you. Deep dives come easy around Gozo. Thus, should the need arise, you will find a hyperbaric chamber in Gozo's General Hospital, only a few minutes away from any dive site. On Gozo, no dive site is more than 15 minutes away. Other renowned dive spots on the north coast are Billingshurst Cave, Cathedral Cave, Goodyear Cave and San Dimitri Point. A visit to Dwera on the west coast is a must. Famous for fungus rock and the spectacular azure window, this location also features other prominent and unique sites such as the Blue Hole, Inland Sea and Crocodile Rock. On Gozo's south coast you can dive on the wrecks of Carwella, Camino Land and the MV Schlendi, purposely scuttled for divers. Should you fancy a night dive, the picturesque cove of Mjashini is ideal for night dives where sea conditions are ideal. Most dive sites in Gozo are accessible from the shore, but we also organise boat trips to Camino and to other wrecks scattered around Malta. The tugboat Rosie, the P-29, P-31, Imperial Eagle and El Faroud wrecks lie within depths easily reached by the majority of divers. For the more experienced and the technical diver, the wrecks of Le Polynesian, HMS Southwold and the submarine HMS Stubborn could well be the highlights of their visit. These dives can be combined with a visit to the tuna pens, where you can dive right alongside these gentle giants, a unique diving experience not to be missed. The wreck's natural arches, tunnels, chimneys, caverns and other underwater formations in these idyllic crystal clear blue waters are inhabited by a prolific marine life. The dusky grouper, dentex, shoals of barracuda and other pelagic fish are typically seen on dives along drop-offs, whereas brown meagres, congers and shrimps can be found in the numerous caverns. Shallow, sandy inlets are normally home to gurnards, lizardfish, weaverfish, baby rays and giant tonshells. Sharp-eyed divers will have the opportunity to encounter a variety of nudibranchs and may even discover the occasional enchanting seahorse. Choose from rocky inlets or red sandy beaches to snorkel, dive, to relax and enjoy the gem of the Mediterranean, just a step away from home.